Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Now today I would like to speak about my own experiences in church, which I called a church, which I later found out that it was just a cult. Now guys, before I start, I need to put a disclaimer. There are many churches out there, many churches with true men of God, true pastors. That church that you despise, where there's only 7 people or there's 12 of you and it looks like nothing is happening, but the man on the pulpit is preaching Christ, is a better off church than for you to go and look for miracles and healing, because that domain has been captured by the devil himself. Am I saying there are no people out there, there are no pastors who do miracles, signs and wonders? They are there. In my previous video, I gave you clues and I gave you directions as to how to spot them. Now I'm going to focus in this video about my own experience in the hands of one Hubert Angel, a man that I believed was sent by God. A man that I believed because the first day that I attended a service which he was preaching, he was prophesying to people the numbers, and you can tell that this is not stage managed. This man has been picked, this woman has been picked, and this is not stage managed. There are some prophets who do stage managing, but this was not stage managed. And I can even tell you right now, a Hubert Angel does not do any stage managing. The prophecies that you see, they are real, they are true, but the power behind is not from God. The Bible says in the book of Matthew chapter 7 and in verse 15, by their fruits you shall know them. How shall we know that this is a false prophet? No. They will perform signs and wonders. I spoke about it in the book of Matthew chapter 7 verse 22 again. They are going to make many signs and wonders, but that is not a yardstick that you use to judge a prophet. Okay? By their fruits you will know them. What does the Bible mean when it says by their fruits you will know them? What the Bible means is that you will know them by their character. Their character is the one that you must use to judge them. Now, my own experience when I was in Hubert Angel's church, first I was just an ordinary attendant, a congregant. And in the church, in the services, I used to like the way he used to prophesy, and everything about him, the way he dresses, everything about him was out of this world. He was like the perfect preacher one would love to go to. No wonder there are thousands and thousands of people in this church. This is the right church. That's what I thought. Now, as I became closer and closer to the system, the true colors began to be revealed. You see, this is why I easily believe that documentary of TB Joshua, because I experienced firsthand something like that. Now, as I was in this ministry, I saw strange things. I saw strange happenings. I saw stuff that only the devil himself would do. Now, I need you to notice something. Hubert Angel, when he came to Zimbabwe from the UK around 2009, 2010, that's when he gained popularity in Zimbabwe. This is around about the time that he started to be an acquaintance with Makandiwa, who 2 years down the line also became a prophet. That's the reason why Makandiwa, and this is by Hubert Angel's own testimony. Makandiwa saw Hubert Angel prophesying, and Makandiwa wanted Hubert Angel to be his spiritual father. This is by Hubert Angel's own words. Now, when Hubert Angel saw that Makandiwa was also a big brand in Zimbabwe, he had a huge following. Hubert Angel dragged that man to his spiritual father then, whose name was Victor Kusi Boateng from Ghana. I'm going to speak about spiritual fatherhood in a few episodes from now. It's a topic on its own that we'll need to discuss. But now Hubert Angel took this man to his own spiritual father, Victor Kusi Boateng. And when Makandiwa was ordained with the powers of being a prophet, he came back to Zimbabwe, and he's now a prophet. He's now prophesying just like Hubert Angel. He's already filled up church. Is doubling. Many people are now coming because of the prophecies. People do not want to read the Bible themselves. People need someone to. He's a shepherd. That's the purpose of being a shepherd, is to lead the flock. But now, if you lead the flock astray, there has to be checks and balances that have to be done by other people. You see, so Hubert Angel, I'm coming back now to Angel and my experiences there. Whatever happened between the time that I joined and the time I became a member of his security team is something that's for another day. But now I joined his security team in his new church premises where he was renting in a place called Granite Side in Harare, Zimbabwe. So when I was there, I was made the head of his church security for that premise. I was in charge of all the guys that were in charge of the premises of that of the premises at the church. Now, Hubert Angel, we were promised that we would be paid $500 per person for our jobs, because this was a full-time job. It was not part-time. It was not something that we would come from our jobs, because this was a shift job. We would do shifts full-time because this church was next to a very notorious suburb called Mbare in Zimbabwe. So the church security there had to be very tight, and I was in charge of that team there. So, but what we saw there during my tenure there is something that I'm going to explain now in this video. Now, the first thing that I would like to mention that raised my spiritual antenna is, there's a guy, I will not mention his name, who was in the media department. And this guy was in charge of Hubert Angel's Miracle TV media team. So I saw this guy being fired for the simple reason that he was exposing ugly women on the TV. Just that reason, that I've given you enough warnings. I told you I only want beautiful women to be shown on the screen. Why are you putting ugly women? And then that alone made me to, the first time, this was after almost 2 years, to doubt the authenticity of the prophethood of this man. You see, because this happened right in front of my eyes, and I saw that guy, I'm not going to mention his name, I saw him kneeling down and begging for forgiveness and begging to be given another chance, and this is exactly what happened. And as long as you kneel down and worship these guys, they will do whatever you want. Now, this guy knelt down, and now that's another thing. Whenever the man of God enters in the auditorium, everyone had to kneel down, and we, as the guys in the security, would make sure that we spot those people that were not kneeling when Papa entered the auditorium. Now, as I was working for this man, the first month we didn't get any salary. The second month, no salary. The third month, no salary. The fourth month, no salary. The fifth month, I was just busy struggling with the pastors, with the junior pastors, and asking if how best can we handle this situation? Can someone talk to Papa so that we get our pay? And then we were just being told the church has no money. Some of us had left our precious jobs that we were doing. I had a good job. Other guys also that were in the security team had good jobs. We all left our jobs. We were now, and in our opinion, we were serving God. You see, and we were doing this happily. We would come to work every day, organize your own fuel, organize your own transport to come to work, struggle, and you would see people being blessed. People in the auditorium by your spiritual father, your so-called spiritual father, while you guys who are working for him are struggling big time. And I'm not talking of an event that happened once or in 2 months. I'm talking of a period of a lifespan of about 2 years. I'm working for this guy. There's nothing that we are getting. Until one day, I have spoken about this in another interview that I did with the other guys. One day, me and my guys in security, we decided, no man, we need to approach the man of God directly and confront him and tell him about how we are suffering and how we are not getting paid. Maybe our father is giving these guys money to give us these junior pastors, and the junior pastors are not giving us the money. That's what we thought. So we waited for him to enter in the church premises, and he was there with his wife's brother. And we went down to his Bentley. He had a nice, very nice Bentley. And we went to kneel. And when we knelt there was about 5 of us there. When we knelt there, we knelt about 4 or 5 meters away from the car so that he would not feel threatened. And we knelt, everyone, we knelt, and we were looking at his car. And he didn't come out. He parked in the parking lot, but he didn't come out. It was not a church day, it was a midweek thing, because his offices were in the church premises. So he asked his brother-in-law to come and speak to us, and the brother-in-law came and he says, come here guys, let's talk. What's the story? What's happening? And then we explained to him that we are not being paid, man. We are struggling. We are not being paid. We are working here full time. We were promised by our head of security for the whole security team, not only for the church premises. I was the head of security only for the church premises, but there was a head, our chief head of security for the whole ministry. He had promised us that we would get money, we would be paid. Leave whatever you are doing, guys, come and work, everyone will be paid. And he was genuine, because he kept coming to us also, and sometimes you would see that this guy is training himself. He had his own small business. He would end up organizing money, donations for us to get money, maybe to give us $40 US dollars, just so that we get by, and that's just to make sure that we can be able to come to work the rest of the month. We could see the struggle that this guy was going through, and he would emphasize to me and say, Fidel, look, when I told you to come and work, I meant it. This is what our father told me, that he would pay you guys $500 each. But now I don't know what's happening. I don't know for sure. I've spoken to him. I've spoken to the prophetess. I've spoken to all the senior pastors in the church. But still there's no joy. Now, when we knelt, that time that we went and knelt by his car, he never came out. His brother-in-law came and took us away, and he promised that our father knows everything that is worrying you guys, and he has promised that he's gonna work things out for you. And we thought everything is fine. But later on in the afternoon, that same day, Hubert Angel's brother came. His name is Limit. They call him Evangelist Limit. Evangelist Lee. I'm going to speak about the doctrine of evangelism sometime. So this guy, they call him Evangelist Lee. So he came and he started to persecute us. Why did we do that? Why did we disrespect our father to that extent? And it was a big deal in the church. A big noise was made out of that issue, where we went humbly just to ask for our salaries after 8 months of working without any pay, and still there was no joy. Then there was one pastor. um, One day I actually walked out and I said, no, no, guys, I'm done with this. I'm not gonna even finish this shift. I'm going home. Then I packed my bags and went home because I was now under pressure. You know, you have to pay rent, and the church, everything looks like it's fine, but we are struggling. And as I was on my way out, this pastor, she's a lady pastor, she phoned me to say, Fidel, come back. I will personally give you money for rent for this month from my own pocket. And but you don't have to tell the rest of the crew that you work with, but we need you because you are the epitome of our church security. So if we lose you, many people are going to follow suit, and that's exactly what was about to happen. So when that happened, I went back to finish my shift and to arrange the shifts for others and everything. But after that, we worked a few more months, still nothing happened. And after a year, now this is the 12th month, this is when after we had done something, so what they thought was drastic, but I personally arranged for that to happen, that the money that they were collecting for tithe on that day, we hijacked one of the bags, one of the buckets, and I took that bucket. I personally, and it's not even a secret, I took that bucket and I called my fellow comrades that were starving and struggling with me, that were working in the ministry, and we shared from that one bucket. I think we got what, $200 US each, and all the guys, we gave each other that money. And we knew the consequences that we were going to face because of what we did, and that's exactly what happened. Again, we were demonized for doing that. But then I had to even visit some of the pastors in their workplaces. Some of them worked in the banks, and I spoke to them that we did that because we are struggling. We are working. We were promised salaries, and it was just a low vibe, and everyone was feeling low in the church. And so after almost 1.5 years, there was an agreement that we would be paid $200 each per month, and I continued for a few more months, and then I walked away. And this is the time, this was now 2013, I saw Hubert Angel. As I was serving in his ministry, there are certain things that I saw as I was working as his member of the security team. There are prominent business women, I will not mention names. Some of them are socialites. I'm talking of big names, but I will not mention their names for now. But I saw these people being in the office with Hubert Angel 2 a.m. up to 3 a.m. in the office. A vehicle is there, Bentley, Hubert Angel's Bentley is there, and there's just the two of them in the office, and the church premise guys who are away. And we were confused. We didn't know, are these people praying in the office? Is she looking for help? And why does she come in the evening and she's with the prophet until 1 a.m., 2 a.m.? But these are things that I've not said I saw anything bad that they were doing, but these are things that I witnessed with my own eyes, that I saw that was happening in the church. But now there's another man, a very rich man. I will not mention his name again, but I saw this man as he came into the ministry, because he was very, very rich. They made him a pastor. But when they made him a pastor, there's something that happened with this man. He saw some messages in his phone, in his wife's phone, she was sending some nudes to Uber Angel. She was sending some nudes to Uber Angel, and she was sending some nudes to Uber Angel. The husband came and he made some big noise at the church premises, and those who were there those days, they know what I'm talking about. But that's what was happening, and a lot of people left the church. And then these stories of Hubert Angel has raped this woman, Hubert Angel is on the wanted because of rape, and these other issues started to emerge. And that's the time that many of us left the church. So even after I left the church now, the accusations kept mounting on him, and so I go back again to that verse, Matthew chapter 7 verse 15. By their fruits you shall know them. There are many women that have allegedly been victimized by these guys, and this is all brushed under the carpet, and no one speaks about it, and they still esteem themselves as men of God. You see, this is where I'm refusing that these are false prophets. That alone overshadows everything else that he used to do. Even his own spiritual father disowned him. What's his name? Victor Kusi Boateng, and now his spiritual father is Pastor Chris Oyakilome of Nigeria. So the minute that we keep quiet about these things, we are not doing justice to the body of Christ. So because of that, I'll keep talking about it. I'll keep talking about it until someone's eyes are opened out there. For now,